So, gentlemen, today I would like to begin by talking about how many bots Lost Ark as a game has, and how we can compare this to other games in order to remove the botting population from the game itself. Now, let's go ahead and start at the very beginning. We're going to look at the SteamDB info of Lost Ark. As you can see here, this game is in an incredibly healthy state, and there are over 500,000 people that are playing it every single day. But the question for you, are they people? Well, let's find out. So we're going to look at 572 peak. We're going to look at 527 valley. Right? This is the highest, this is the lowest. Differential of somewhere around 150,000 people. So let's go ahead and keep that number in mind right now. 150,000 people differential from the highest to the lowest. 155 down to 445. So that's about 100 differential, maybe a little bit more, 100,000 differential. So the way that we're going to tell this is we're going to be looking at the amount of people that go offline and online. Because as you know, one of the big differences between players and bots is that bots don't sleep. So let's go look at a few other games that have different populations and different growth curves. So let's look at Final Fantasy. So this seemed like a server going down. So Final Fantasy goes up to, and of course this is not a this is not Final Fantasy's all of their players, but this is just simply a fraction of the players. But I think this is a fair fraction to use. It's kind of like if you take a slice out of an apple pie, the slice is still an apple pie. So keep it in mind. Don't look at the number, look at the graph and the differential. So it has a peak of 39,000 players and a valley of about 19,000 players. That's about a 50% differential. Whenever you're looking at this one over here, and again, this is 150 to 150 out of almost 700. So this is only like maybe a 30% differential. So you see what I'm saying? Is that the amount that the graph goes down is much smaller in Lost Ark than it is in Final Fantasy. Now, why is that? They're both MMOs. I would assert my hypothesis that it's because of bots. I would. And the reason why is because a lot of Asian players are not playing on Steam, and a lot of Korean players are also not playing on Steam. This is mainly US and some EU countries, and all of these games are popular around the world. So let's go ahead and we're going to look at all of the rest of this. So using one game to collaborate this is not a very good idea, is it? So let's just keep looking at some other ones. Let's look at New World, okay? So New World goes all the way up to almost, let's say, 30,000 just to make it easy, and it goes all the way down to 16,000. So we're looking at about a 40 to 45 to 50% differential between the peak of the game during that day and the valley of the game during that day. Now let's go ahead and look at this game, 27,000 to 12,000. That's even more than a 50% differential. And you look at this one here, 26,000 all the way down to 7. Servers could have gone down there, to be fair. So as you can see here, the game is observing about a 50% fluctuation daily in average users. You're going from 100%, let's say this is 100%, to 50%, to 100%, to a little bit lower than 50%. But you can see this, right? It's 100%, 50%, 100%, 50%, 100%. Servers went down 100%, 50%, 100%, 50%, right? And this would be 0% with no players, right? Let's look at Dota. Dota, extremely popular game all around the world. Peak, 600,000 players. Valley, 300,000 players. Again, showing about a 50% differential between the highest amount of players daily and the lowest amount of players daily. Again, 100%, 50%, 100%, 50%, 100%, 50%. Isn't this interesting? Now, let's also compare another game, Counter-Strike. Same graph. I don't have to do it again, but I'll do it again. 50%, 100%. 50%, lower than that actually. 50%, 100%. 50%, 100%. You guys see how there's obviously a much larger fluctuation. Apex Legends, again, the same type of general graph. And I want to make it very clear that I know that not all users of certain games like Final Fantasy and Apex Legends are playing them exclusively on Steam. However, I believe that taking a fraction of the player base and using this to extrapolate player base behavior is fair, because it's not taken based off of their player base, their playing, the nature of how they play the game. It's just taken as a random sample of people that are playing the game in this way. Vampire Survivors, again. So this game obviously has been much more affected by Twitch viewership, as you guys can obviously see. So there's a confounding variable in this that makes it harder to judge. But whenever it's not being streamed on Twitch a whole lot, so let's look here, 49,000, 28,000. 44,000, 25,000. Looking again at that 50% differential every single time between peaks and valleys of the game. So now let's go over here, and we're going to confound this with the amount of Google Trends of Lost Ark. Because as you can see on the graph of Lost Ark, you can see it here, the popularity was very high, it has gone down, and now it has somehow made a recovery. So let's see if that's reflected in any other way on any of the games. Now, obviously, right now, Lost Ark is going to have inflated viewership because there's a lot of Korean people watching, because the Inglacia content just came out, which is going to drive more viewership because it's new content. So, however, let's go over here to Lost Ark as a game. So this is the current Google Trends analytics for United States. Now, there are people that globally use Steam, so let's go ahead and look at that right here. And right here, this obviously is this is probably a bug, to be fair. And we're going to look at the past, we'll look at the past, yeah, let's look at the past 90 days. I think that's fair. So as you can see here, the Lost Ark viewership and interest does not reflect this graph right here for players on Steam. Also, if you look at the Twitch viewership for Lost Ark, it also does not reflect the viewership that the game has had either. And this is, I think if I do it again, it will show some of the Korean viewership, but we'll see. Oops, I actually refreshed you guys, my bad. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, here we go, and we'll look right here, and 1 second here, I want to look at this. Why'd you be doing Lost Ark to find new content? I'm a little bit confused. So there's somebody who's unhappy about what I'm saying, and I know that I know that this must be upsetting for you to have an analytical conversation about numbers, but I'm gonna read your logs because we're gonna make fun of you, okay? He was super famous, don't lie. I don't know what he's talking about. Bro, who cares about those numbers? You cry about viewer count Andes all the time, but you are one, man. What the fuck? Let's compare your stream views with other streamers. Same thing with this player count bullshit. Listen, Amazon's not your friend, and neither are the people that work at Smilegate. This is obviously different, and of course you can compare that all you want. Now, I understand. What do you think? I want to make sure, because this is my opinion. Do you think that the conclusions that I am drawing are wrong? Do you think that the conclusions that I am drawing are wrong? No. Okay, sorry. Yeah, me too. But like, do you think that I'm wrong? We'll wait and we'll wait and see. It's confounding variables. That's why I'm looking at a bunch of different games. Yeah, let's see. Backtracking, Andy. Yes, I backtrack so fast that that's always the way it goes. See, this is why I try to make examples out of people like this, because these comments annoy me. To be objection hearsay, true. Explain yourself. Yeah, let's see what you have to say. Do you think I'm wrong? Looks like there's no comment at all. I'll give it a second. But you guys can see, obviously, that the Lost Ark viewership on YouTube, or on all of these places, like on worldwide, all categories. Let's look and see. Can I search just on YouTube? YouTube search. So let's see people searching videos of YouTube and Lost Ark. There has been a slight increase, obviously, and that's been about it, but it's pretty much leveled off right about here. And besides this one data point, you were not really seeing this much of a growth period, right? Obviously not. So he's back. All right, let's go ahead and we'll refresh and see what he had to say. I think it's weird to compare player counts and complain about viewer Andes. Okay. So anyway, let's go back over here. So, Lost Ark, and we've got Lost Ark, and I'm not gonna, I hate dealing with people that try to make false comparisons. It's annoying, and I don't want to deal with it. And let's look at New World or any of these other games. Let's see which other games show a positive trend. It's really kind of hard to say. Yeah, I wasn't talking about viewer count at all. It had nothing to, yeah, completely missing the point. Yeah, just totally missing the point. So anyway, let's look over here. And also, like, I could do this with streams, right? But why am I even wasting even a second more of my time on that retard? Okay, let's move on. Lost Ark. So you see right here, players have gone up by a substantial amount. Forced him to talk? Yeah, but because he's being a fucking idiot, man. Like, I hate whenever people make these false comparisons and then get mad at me because they're false, like, I'm not aligning with their false comparison. It fucking annoys me. I don't like it. Yes, it actually makes me mad and I don't like it. Let's see here. And where's the rest of this? Let me read this. There's one huge detail you're missing out on that graph, honestly. And what detail is that? These graphs have one vital detail. What detail is this? Okay, all right. Very fucking funny, guys. Lost Ark is a worldwide game, so the times around the world don't really matter as much, right? I don't really think that's going to make a difference because people in Korea and Russia don't play the game on Steam. Is that correct? So, like, if you said Lost Ark is a worldwide game, do they use Steam? Yeah, they don't use... So, yeah, they don't use Steam. Okay, so there we go. Obviously, some of them do. I don't even know if Steam is usable on there or not. I have no idea. Russians use Steam now? Yeah, I'm not sure. And what's this here? No, we do use Steam. Okay, so then let's look at a very popular Russian game, Counter-Strike. So this obviously is not the case. Do you guys use Counter-Strike on Steam? Counter-Strike is one of the most popular games in Russia. Dota 2, yeah. So, like, obviously, even in games that are very popular in Russia, this graph still shows itself. Even show Dota 2. Yeah, Jesus, some people, man. Yeah, people are trying to... Time zones, man. Something negatively about the game I enjoy. I spent over $200 to get honing mats, etc. Yeah, you think those are more than 50% bots then? So we're going to get there, okay? Sorry, I got distracted because something that people said in chat fucking made me mad. And as I said, I fucking hate hearing that because it's just so annoying. And anyway, let's go back over. So we're looking at the graph. And again, you're looking at the differential. 50%, 0%, or 50%, 100%, 50%, 100%, over and over and over, right? New World, same thing. Because you can easily say Dota and Counter-Strike are not MMOs. People are playing them much differently than they would play Lost Ark. And I think that's a fair comparison. However, if you look at Final Fantasy and you look at New World, both of those games function the exact same way. Yeah, both of them function the exact same way, and it's totally fucking fine. Lost Ark is not available for Russian accounts. Yeah, I guess so. And New World? Yeah, New World is certainly not going well at all. People seem to log back very far and quicker. Yeah, and so they still play it day and night. Why are you comparing player numbers with Google Analytics when you say people that searching guides and watch videos are a minority? Of course, there will be more people searching about the game, right? They really need to start teaching statistics in school. They really, really do. It's so worrying whenever I bring up a graph and nobody seems to understand it. Like, nobody seems to this is so worrying. Like, it is. It's so worrying that people can't understand this graph. The reason why the players, it's not used as one basis of measurement, because you are right in an objective sense, but this is used as confounding data. So this is not my argument here. This is my argument. And these are my arguments. This is simply supporting evidence. What I'm saying is that the supporting evidence also reinforces my conclusion that a large amount of people that are playing Lost Ark are bots. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, yes, it's a data sample. But yes, of course, there are a lot of people who are playing Lost Ark and not consuming content about it. I mean, that's just what makes sense. So anyway, objection, hearsay? Yeah, sure. Okay, let's look at the rest of this. And what's this here? Statistics are very true. Yeah, watch people literally studying rocket science, unable to read an Excel graph. It's very sad. I know, this is very worrying. It absolutely is. Compare it to other bot-ridden games. Team Fortress 2, I don't know enough about the games to compare it to that. Are there any other games on Steam that you guys would like me to compare Lost Ark to look at it? But yeah, any of these, like maybe Rust, something like this. Rust has, of course, about the same graph. Obviously, right here, they had a drops campaign, so they had more players. OSRS. Black Desert Online is a great example. Black Desert, yeah, let's look at this one here. Charts as well. Black Desert actually has about the same graph. Does Black Desert have a botting problem? Does Black Desert have a botting problem or not? No, yes, not really, no, not really, no, yes, no, EVE Online. And so Vindictus, I think that, like, all right, let's be honest here. This graph definitely, it is much closer to Lost Ark than any of these other games. And Black Desert is also another Korean Grindfest MMO, so you could say that, yes, maybe this is closer. But even in Black Desert, let's look at what this differential really is. So we've got 22,000 right here, and then we have 13,000. So what differential is that between the highest and the lowest number? Somewhere around 40%. It's somewhere around 40%, and that is substantially more than Lost Ark. So even with this example, that is the strongest argument that can go against what I'm saying, even that is vastly different than what I'm talking about. So people have advantages to AFK all day? Yes. Well, let's just say that in Lost Ark, what percentage are we going from, right? 555 to 440. That's like what, 10% or something? Or sorry, that's like a 25%. So even in the most egregious example, you're going from 40% at the most or at the least to 25%. It's almost double. So the conclusion that I'm drawing here, based off of all of the data here, everything that I'm saying, is that I think Lost Ark has about, on average, and we're going to be generous here, we're going to look at 150,000 differential, multiply that by 2, give it 20%, so let's see 360,000 peak players a day. Somewhere between 300 and 350,000 players daily. I think that's how many people are actually playing Lost Ark. Because if you look at every single other graph and you compare it and you look at the data points as 100% and 50%, you extrapolate that over to Lost Ark, and then you remove the numbers that are not going to be in part of that, that would give you 300 to 350,000. So that means that Lost Ark could have over 100,000, or in some cases, close to or over 200,000 bots. That's a lot. That is a lot. That's why gold prices are rising. Exactly. So bots are only good for collectibles from my Venture Tome. Oh, I love bots. We love bots, guys. Honestly, probably more. You seen the Iguashi update? A little bit of it, yes. Source? I've got too many of them to list. And what's this here? Are bots included? Maybe Lost Ark's player base is more balanced between NA and Europe, which causes the downward peaks to be smaller. Really? Do you think it's more balanced than Dota and Counter-Strike? Do you think it's more balanced than literally any other game that's available on Steam? Yes. Yeah, I don't think so. And so it's obviously, and I also want to make sure that one thing is incredibly clear. Can Russians play Lost Ark on Steam right now? Very simple question. Can they play Lost Ark on Steam right now? The answer to that is no. Okay, so that's not even part of the conversation, even in a hypothetical. You see what I'm saying? Next, let's go on. Is there any criticism for my conclusion here? Japan and Korea can't either. Exactly, and that's the same thing, right? Of course. That could be more because of a person who uses bots. The return on investment is higher in Lost Ark and other games. I don't know what that means. This is probably way off. You need to take into account the profitability of botting in a particular game. Why would you have to take into account profitability of botting? I'm confused about that. Why would I have to take that into account? Because by the nature of bots existing, it implies that there is profitability. And profitability being low is a scaling issue with botting. Do you know how you make $100 if each bot makes you $10? You get 10 bots. Like, it's common sense. That's what they do. Next, Dota and CSGO are 70-30. EU versus NA population. NA population in those games is so small. I think that a lot of people play Counter-Strike and Dota in the US. No, I feel like a lot of them do. You need to take into account, you need to take different time zones into account between EU and USA. Steam population is 50% down. So you feel like I have to take different population time zones into account with Lost Ark, but simultaneously not with Final Fantasy, New World, Dota 2, Counter-Strike, Black Desert, Apex Legends, or Vampire Survivors. Only Lost Ark needs to have time zones taken into account. Is that right? Older player base than other games, they play later at night and overlap between EU and NA. Older than New World? Nobody that plays New World doesn't have gray hairs in their beard. Everybody that plays the game, they have gray beards. Next, please read me. You're looking at games from different points in their life. Newer and hyped up games have a graph more like Lost Ark. Look at Elden Ring graph, please. It has nothing to do with the trajectory of the graph. It has to do with the day-to-day growth and peaks and valleys on day-to-day. It has nothing to do with the direction or trajectory. Next. What if these bots are being run by players that lean into alt-incentivized gameplay and not for gold farming in particular? They're bots. I don't care why. They're bots. Next. Will you play Overwatch? Maybe. I don't know. I'm doing some... Look at Naraka Blade Point. Naraka Blade Point. Okay. Wow. Wow, that's a lot. I don't know why this happens. Yeah, that's crazy. Of course, there's bots in Lost Ark. It's free to play, just like you'd see a lot of gold farmers in WoW if it was free to play. It's not about if there are bots. It's about... Okay, so you're misunderstanding. So it's not about if there are bots. It's about what population, what percentage of the population is bots, and how is that changing over time. And if the interest in the game is actually growing or it is the bot population growing. Because here's what I think. I think that the bots are growing because it continues to be profitable, while simultaneously the actual player base probably right now is a little bit stagnant, and in Korea is going up clearly because they have new content, but this is not taking into account Korea in the first place. What this is showing, in my opinion, is that graphs right here. It's showing that there are more bots and there are increasingly more bots every single time, every day. Compare it to TF2. TF2 is all bots. Sure, I'll pull up TF2. Why not? Oh my god. Oh my god. So people are playing... So, wow, bro, they never go under 50,000 people playing the game? It's that popular? That's incredible, guys. Wow. So we even have a game that is plagued by botting that is, again, much more resistant to everyday peaks and valleys. So this actually proves my point even more. Because this is a game that is agreed upon that has a lot of bots on it. And this game itself has very low player fluctuation on the day-to-day, just like Lost Ark does, and it also has a lot of bots. I feel like I've made my point very, very clear. If I had to guess, I think that a very safe assumption would be that Lost Ark has at least 100,000 bots. And in my opinion, I think that is a drastic understatement. That's how you look at the numbers, boys. That's how you see it. Class distribution, EU West, ignore bots. Let's see if I can find this right here. Oh my god. So this is a class distribution. You guys know, what class do people play to bot in Lost Ark? Does anybody know what class people play to bot in Lost Ark? Berserker? Ain't that something? Ain't that just a little bit of something? Ain't that just a little bit of a situation here that we can look at that could possibly lead us to a conclusion? Ain't that just a little bit of something? 100K sounds reasonable. You're right on that. I think 100K is low, but I think I'm just going to make, I'm going to give it that low. Yeah, numbers don't lie. The numbers, and this is what I love about numbers. This is what I love about graphs, is that they don't lie. You can misinterpret them, but they don't lie. The numbers are what they are. And if you have enough numbers and enough information, and if you try to disprove your hypothesis and your findings enough, you can actually get close to something that very few people care about nowadays, and that is an objective fucking truth. That is what I love about numbers. That is my favorite. That's why I love talking about them. I love thinking about them. It's all fucking, it's right out there, and you can't deny them. And that's it. Is there anybody else that has to, I'll read a few more of these so I don't have to get them in a YouTube video about this. I'll read a few more of these. Compare this to Elden Ring? Sure, let's compare it to Elden Ring. Elden Ring has a really weird graph. I looked at it before. But as you can see here, like, why does it go up? It's like Sunday, it goes down. Let's look at Elden Ring again. Peak of 172,000, valley of about 97,000, right? 100,000, let's say. About 40% differential. Peak of 61, valley of 91. So again, we're looking at 45% differential there. People are working. Yeah, during the weekend, I think this is much more of a more of a casual game. A lot of people have it, right? And so that's what makes sense. Look at first week of Lost Ark. Spread was about 50%, like you should be. I actually don't have. What is this? Can I find that? Yeah, can I move this? Yeah, can I move this up and down? Because I would love to be able to do that, but I just don't know if I can. Let me go over here and double check here. Yeah, how can I do that? I have to log in. I don't have an account. Yeah, sorry, I don't have an account. I would do that if I could, but I simply don't have one. I'll have to make one. I'm not going to make one right now. I don't want to give them my email. I don't want to do that. It's Steam login. I don't want to deal with it. I will move over here, and I'll see if I can do it easily, okay? Okay, unable to determine whether your Steam account is limited. Okay, so that didn't really work. I'm going to try to sign in again. Yep, it's not working for me. I don't know why. Yeah, that's weird. Looks like I can't do it right now. So I'd love to sign in if I could, but apparently that's not going to be on the cards. You need to use Steam charts again? Okay, sure. Let's look at Steam charts. Why not? Okay, and let's see here. Lost Ark Steam charts. And so we've got right here. It's hard really for me to say. Let's go. Oh, I can type this? Okay, let's go. And when did it come out here? I'm going to look at what day this was. April 22nd? No. When did the game actually come out? It was like February or something. Yeah, when did the game get released? February 11th? Okay, so let's look at 02, and let's look at February 11th. Let's look at number 7, February 7th. And we're going to look at... Wait, what? 02... Okay, I'm trying to get this right. Sorry, guys, I'm having trouble doing this. Okay, February 2nd to February 28th. Okay, let's look at that. Yeah, this is very hard for me to tell. I don't know how to use this program, and I don't know how this works. Let me see here. We're going to look at 10, maybe? Okay, there we go. And this is from the... All right, so this is from people there. All right, that's the 2nd. The 9th, and let's look at the first week and look at 15th. Yeah, it doesn't... It's only showing peaks here. So it doesn't show the peaks and valleys at all. So we can't do that. Because as you can see, there's no fluctuation day to day. It just shows the highest point of viewership each day. Zoom level? Sure. Okay, let's look at 1 month. Okay, that didn't do anything. Yeah, none of these do anything. Yeah, 48. Yeah, all of these, it doesn't do anything. How many, click on 48 hours? Sure. Okay. And it's still showing snapshots of daily. Yep, it's still showing daily snapshots. So that's clearly not, there's a drag below it. Use it. Okay, let's see if I can use this. This is clearly, it's just showing peaks every single day. This is a weird chart. It just, yeah, this just shows the peak every single day. For me, it's hourly. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just simply not working that way for me. Yeah, the site isn't the most accurate. No, but it's the best thing that we have. So anyway, this is kind of, this is where I'm looking at it. Now, what should Lost Ark do about this? Is this something that Lost Ark should worry about? This many people being bots in the game. The truth is that, here's what I think. Even if 200,000 people are bots, I think a stable peak of 300,000 players is incredibly healthy and beyond the expectations that Amazon and Smilegate had for Lost Ark. So even in the worst case scenario, they're still doing well. So I will tell you this. Like, this is not a Lost Ark hate video. This isn't a, wow, look how bad Lost Ark is video. It's nothing like that at all. What it really is it's something that shows what's actually going on. You're reading it wrong? No, I'm not. I'm not reading it wrong at all. I'm reading it right, and you thinking that I'm reading it wrong makes you wrong. And so anyway, more like 150,000 players, new Lazy Peon video about New World. I might watch that. And so anyway, like, I understand these graphs very, very well. I read them, and I know what I'm talking about here. Yeah, people saying you're reading it wrong. Yeah, if I was actually reading it wrong, you'd say why. Let's be honest. Lost Ark has a lot of Korean girls playing, so weebs are putting in overtime. Okay, to be fair, that is actually... Okay, all right, what we need to do there is we need to go to Amazon. We need to get the Amazon internal data from how many body pillows of Black Fang and Nineveh were sold, and we have to correlate that with the amount of pillows that are sold of Yashlada and Menphilia in Final Fantasy. We have to collaborate those two and then compare it to the amount of players on the game, and then, you know, that. So yes, you're right about that, okay? How many VTubers are playing the game? How many of them have big boobs? Like, you know, like, yes, you're right. We're gonna have to, this is gonna have to be step 2. Yeah, absolutely. Give me a Vestinian. Nagi's better. I think she is too. But like, you see what I'm saying. Lazy Peon just released a new video about New World. I'll watch that in a few minutes, but let me focus on this right now, okay? You're wrong. Now that I got your attention, please, I got your attention. Look for MIR4. It's full of bots, MMORPG game. Yeah, every single time you see that, it just makes me think of Mira in Mitch's chat. Like, that's why I just didn't read your message. I saw it before. Yeah, it makes me think of Mira in Mitch's chat. Like, I'm like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? It's so weird. Well, look, I feel like, all right, I'll indulge this for 5 more minutes, then I want to move on and look at some other stuff. Okay, guys, we have to look at the World of Warcraft, the thing that they the social contract thing. You are so right. I know I am. If you still think it's a pretty healthy game with 300k to 400k concurrent players versus under bots, yes, absolutely. It's an incredibly healthy game. Lost Ark is doing incredibly well. The game is very popular. It's releasing new content very regularly, and I think that once the game catches up to where it is in Korea, this graph will be true, but unironically. Yeah, I think so, because that's what's happened in 2 other regions too. Again, like, everybody caps on this. You guys probably would be capping if I said Lost Ark had 200k bots before I did this this whole expose on it. You would be capping if I said that, or 100k bots. There are people capping on it. Listen, guys, I'm going to be honest. What I do is I look through and I find out what seems to be the most true based off of other situations. The reason why I think this is the most true is very simple. It's just because it makes sense to me. Like, it's because it makes sense, and that's really all it needs to do. It doesn't need to be anything too super crazy or anything like that. But anyway, all right. So, in conclusion to this research that we've put together, it seems that the player base is much more inelastic towards daily concurrent playership fluctuation, regardless of time zone, regardless of game genre, regardless of release date or anything like that. So, what the conclusion of this is to me is that Lost Ark, the differential between the player base lost whenever you account for the bots, if you assume the same daily differential that other games generally have, which is about a 50% differential, you are assuming that Lost Ark has between 100 and 200,000 bots. Done. That's it. Will this be on the test? It depends on how much money you spend on the game. So, yep, there it is. New Contra, wrong? No, I'm not wrong. What do you mean I'm wrong? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that again. We already did that once. We're not gonna do it again. You guys see where I'm coming from? You guys see what I'm saying? I think that we've moved on.